Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool. Really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
Welcome to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. My special guest from Ohio University, the Office of Communications and Marketing, Cheri Russo.
Hi, Mike.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. Glad to have you on. Glad you come out in the snow.
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit treacherous out there today, but thank you for having me.
We are just pleased to have you on. And I want to start off, you actually did news reporting for 15 years in Youngstown.
Yeah, well, for 4 of the 15 was in Youngstown. I worked in Wisconsin for a while. I worked in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. It's like way northern Wisconsin. So if you think the snow around here is bad, move there for a little bit. And then I worked in Mansfield, Ohio for a while, and I worked in Youngstown for a while.
And a proud graduate of The Ohio University?
Yes, I graduated from OU the first time in 1996. But and then I came back, got a job at WOUB in Athens, and got my master's degree. And so I've lived in Lancaster the whole time, though, so it's been good.
Well, fantastic. The proud mother of 2 boys.
2 boys, yeah. I think I need a little help.
Yeah, right before the show started, we were talking about counseling of 2 boys.
Oh, it's crazy.
Well, they're 8 and 3?
8 and 3. Yeah, they're the first one I had to wait a little while before I was ready to have a second one. Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Well, we are glad you are here today.
Well, thank you.
We're going to talk a lot about activities going on at Ohio University Lancaster and the Pickerington Center. Actually, it just started, opened on the 24th, was Lisa Shore, who's a friend of mine, is exhibiting foul weather at OU.
She is. Our Raymond Wilkes Art Gallery. It's located in, if you know the campus, Brazy Hall is our main building, and it's on the 5th floor. And some people don't even know we have this art gallery up there, but it's really a treasure. And Lisa Shore opened her foul weather exhibit on the 24th. We had an opening reception for her, and it's a little, when you hear the words foul weather, it's a play on words. It's, she has lots of ducks, and then there's also a whole series about rainy weather, and it's a really beautiful exhibit. She also had a really awesome painting of the Lancaster Festival and the fireworks that's hanging up. So there's all kinds of different things there for people to see, and it's open to the community during our normal business hours. So whenever the building's open, you can go up and walk up there. It's free. It's open to the public. It's a really nice thing.
I've seen some other exhibits up there. It's a nice area. It's a nice place to view art.
It is. It really is a nice place to view art, and we really want to build on that and have the Lancaster campus known for a place of arts and culture here in town. And so we hope to continue that tradition. And Lisa's just the latest artist that's up there.
Now it's going to go for about a month, I guess.
Yeah, February 22nd it'll be there through. So it opened on January 24th, and you can go up and see it through February 22nd.
The one of the programs that's coming up, something that I know we've had to go through many times, or at least I have. Ohio University Lancaster is going to have a College Goal Sunday.
College Goal Sunday.
Talk about FAFSA.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first year that we have been a College Goal Sunday site, and it's a statewide event that has several locations, a location in each county, and we are the Fairfield County location, where students who want to go to college and of course need help funding to be able to go to college have to fill out the federal financial aid form, which is the FAFSA, and it's a big long acronym for I don't even remember what it stands for. But it is an important document to fill out if you want to get scholarships or financial aid of any kind. And sometimes it's a little bit intimidating. You know, you go on those government websites and it asks for your tax forms and your parents' tax forms and the amount of money they made and all this information that can be so overwhelming and intimidating that some students just do this and don't fill it out. And they either miss out on an opportunity for a scholarship or miss out on some much needed financial aid, and then they go to school and then they can't afford it, and then they end up dropping out. And so we don't want that to happen. So College Goal Sunday is February 10th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the Lancaster campus in Brazy Hall. You go and you get free help. They sit you down at a computer with your parents, and you go through each step and you fill out the form, and before you leave,
what if
it's
kids
done.
don't want to take their parents? They don't want, say, I can do this by myself, Mom, Dad.
Well, I suppose they could do that, but I think they qualify for different aid programs if they report their parents' income. So that's kind of a crucial thing. So maybe you don't want to bring them, but if you can get them to give you a copy of their last year's tax form, then you should be good to go.
Now, should they just show up? Do they have to register online? Do they have to do anything to
You can just show up, but we encourage you so that we know the number of computers and the number of people we need to have on hand to register, and that's at ohiocollegegoalsunday.org, I believe is the website. So you can go and sign up there, let us know you're coming, and we will then be prepared to help you.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking with Cheri Russo, the Marketing and Communications Manager for Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington Center, and former news reporter.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of history in Lancaster. There's a lot of famous people from Lancaster. There's athletes and just a whole plethora of things. And there's a young lady that's pursuing a singing career in Nashville.
Yeah, there is. She and what I think is fascinating about her story, her stage name is Melissa Martin. Her real name is Michelle Martin. So in the press release I wrote, I called her Michelle Melissa Martin because I didn't know what to do. But she just recently graduated in December from OU Lancaster with a communication studies degree, a bachelor's degree in communication studies. She but the whole time she has been going to school. She has been living here. And every couple of weeks she drives down to Nashville to sing gigs and to get in front of record producers and all that stuff that you have to do to get that music career going. She recently recorded her first album. She's also a songwriter, so these are all original songs that she's written. She doesn't have a record label yet, but she recorded it with some audio engineering students in Nashville. And she has her first record. It's called Take My Hand. But she recently applied to our master's degree program in communications and got in.
Wow.
So she's going to start that in the fall.
And she's only 19?
She's actually 21.
Okay.
At the age of 19, she got her first big break in Nashville. I think she was on a show called Nashville Spotlight. Which is for up-and-coming artists in Nashville. So that was kind of her first big break. But I asked her, I said, if you want to be a singer, what are you doing getting a communications degree? And she said, well, I don't know that this is going to work out, and I want to make sure that I have a backup plan. If I don't become the big country singer,
right,
Christian music singer that I want to be, then at least I have a couple of degrees to help me out. So I just thought it was great that she was doing what you're supposed to be doing, going to school, getting the degree, but also pursuing this dream of hers to be a singer.
Now, are you a country music fan?
I like it okay.
Just okay?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but she does have a YouTube video that's on our website if anyone's interested in seeing it. And I listened to the song, and it's really good. I mean, she has a beautiful voice, and if she gets that right break, who knows what could happen for her. Yeah.
Absolutely. You talked about press releases. Mm-hmm. Is it hard to work on press releases? I mean, just if you're writing one for Joe Smith and Joe says, no, I don't want that in there. How much do they let you do that, and how much do you say, okay, this is what we're going to do?
Well, because I used to be a news reporter, I kind of know what the news people are looking for in a press release. So fortunately for me, a lot of people at OUL kind of say, okay, you know what you need to say, so just do that. But there are some people who, they interview me, and I'm a purist because I used to be a journalist. I like to quote you exactly, I don't like to make your quote sound better than you sounded. But they see it and they're like, can you touch that up? Can you make me sound better? And that's fine. That's what I'm there to do. But so that's the only difficult part is you have to, once you write it, you have to go back and send it back to the people you talk to and say, is this okay? Is this what you meant to say when you told me this? And so that's a little time consuming. But besides that, it's good.
What's the longest you've ever had to send back and forth, like 6, 7 times?
Oh, well, when you're dealing with something that has to do with our main campus in Athens, then it has to go through a bunch more people down there. So there's a few of them that have been several weeks that have just gone through emails of all the higher ups in the university. And if you quote the president of the university, that's a way big deal.
You got to wait in line to do that.
Yeah, you got to wait in line for the
Yeah.
for the approval for that before you send it out. So yeah.
Do you remember the first interview you did?
The first interview I did as a reporter.
As a news reporter?
Oh gosh. You know, I mean, I was doing stuff in high school for the local cable access channel, so that was. No.
No.
The answer to the question is no. I can't. I can remember some of the bigger interviews that I did, but I can't remember what the first one was.
What was the first big interview that you did that you can?
Do you know who Jim Trafficant is?
Yeah.
Okay, he was the congressman in Youngstown.
Yeah, right.
And I would have to say the biggest interview I did was I did the first interview with him after he was indicted on racketeering charges.
Intimidating?
It was very intimidating because I had to stake out his house to get the interview. And when he pulled up in his car, I ran up with a microphone. And he was, but he's the master of the media. And, you know, he obviously felt that the charges against him were bogus. But he wanted people to think of him as the victim. So he was really good at, you know, you'd put the microphone in his face and ask him a question, and he wouldn't answer it. And then he would say, now get off my property, leave me alone. But then you'd ask him another question, and he'd answer it and say, now get off my property, leave me alone. So he was really good at getting his point out, but making himself look like a victim. And so it was very interesting in that sense. But yeah, it was fun.
Did you ever have an interview where you had to just pull questions? I mean, you're just, you know, thinking, boy, this is going to take forever. And, you know, I mean.
When people are on TV, they're normally pretty nervous. It's one of those things where they feel like they're deer in the headlights. You know, you turn on all these lights and the cameras, and all of a sudden they can't be themselves anymore. And so those were the most difficult. The people who were really self-conscious, and you know, and children are totally unbelievably difficult to interview.
Really?
Because if you ask them a yes or no question, they will only answer yes or no.
I know adults who do that though. That's not.
But I used to, you know, I would go into schools to do, you know, to interview kids about something cool they were doing, and you know, they just won a science contest, or you know, or they were in the spelling bee or whatever, and I would be like, do you think it's awesome that you're in the spelling bee? Yes. You know, and I'd be like, oh, come on, give me a little bit more. So, you know, those were the fun ones.
That's interesting. I know OU is involved in the community affairs and doing a lot of stuff. And there's a group that they're going to make clothing donations for local shelters.
Yeah, we had, right around the same time I was hired, which was almost a year ago, we got a new library director, and her name is Judy Carey Nevin, and she's a big knitter. And, you know, basically, I mean, if you'd let her bring knitting into meetings, I mean, she would sit there and knit because she just likes to do that. And so she came from Otterbein, and they had a crafting group there that met and taught students and faculty and staff how to knit and crochet. And then, you know, they would start with little small things like little scarves or, you know, things that weren't that time consuming, and teach them how to knit. And then whatever they did over the course of the semester, they would then take at the end of the semester and donate to a local shelter. So the first project that the new group that Judy formed at our campus, called Yarn Crafters for Lancaster, they decided to make things that could help local shelters, people who go to local shelters during the winter, stay warm over the winter. So we just donated nearly 40 hats and scarves, and you know, those kind of gloves and those kind of things that were knitted by our students and faculty and staff.
That's really neat. Now, I know, is this going to be an ongoing thing? Are they going to continue to?
They are going to continue to do it. This semester's project is, I think they're all going to make squares that they knit together to make for blankets for social service children who you know, who are being who are in the foster care system, who've, you know, been taken out of their home for one reason or another. It's like a security blanket. So they're going to knit those squares together and make security blankets for children.
No, I'm going to ask, do you knit too?
No, I am horrible at knitting.
They won't give me sharp instruments, so I can't.
Well, I'm horrible at it, and Judy, who keeps telling me that she can teach me, but I keep telling her, you don't understand how bad I am at stuff like that. But she keeps trying to encourage me to join the group. So we'll see. Maybe at some point I will. Yeah, maybe.
Well, maybe get your husband to help you out too. Right?
Yeah, you know what? He would probably be better at that than me. So maybe I should get him to join.
One of the the community has always been involved in Ohio University Lancaster, and Fairfield National Bank has stepped up and made a significant contribution.
Yeah, they have. We have this campaign going on right now. Our development director, Mandy Custer, is the head of that. Basically, raising money for student scholarships and also improvements to our facilities and to our arts and theater programs that we're trying to build up now. And so her goal is $3.5 million over the course of 3 years. And the area that Fairfield National Bank contributed to, they already had an existing scholarship at OUL that they've had for many years, but they contributed $75,000 more to that scholarship and also put in a possible summer job for the person who is awarded that scholarship. So it's a really great thing for the community to have scholarships available to students who grew up here and live here and want to give back to this community once they get out of college. And that's the type of scholarship that this is. It gives to a local student who just needs that few extra dollars to be able to go to school and to chase their dream.
And is it going to be, is it open to freshmen, sophomores, junior, seniors?
I believe so. So. I don't know all the specific requirements of the Fairfield National Bank Scholarship, but we have many scholarships that are available. We just had a professor who passed away who had worked at the campus for many years. Her name is Carol Christie. She worked there for 30 years. And in her will, she left $200,000 to establish a scholarship for part-time working adult students who want to go back to pursue their dreams. So there's all types of scholarships that are available for your unique situation. And so so these scholarships that Mandy Custer, our development director, is raising money for right now are not just your typical I have good grades, I have good ACT score scholarships. They're also, Larry Tipton, the owner of BW3s, he endowed a $45,000 scholarship for working students who were working part-time while they were going to school. So there's all kinds of different scholarships that you can apply for. You just have to look and see what we have available.
If people are interested in donating money, should they contact you? Or
not me. Money? No. Mandy Custer. Okay. She's our development director, and if they just call our main switchboard, which is 654-6711, they can ask to talk to her. There's also information about how to go about donating on our website.
I think sometimes people get lost up in how long OU Lancaster's been there.
Yeah.
And all the programs they offer. I mean, it used to be years ago when JT was going to school. They had one class, one room. Yeah. But no, I'm just kidding.
It was a schoolhouse.
It was a schoolhouse.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of programs being offered at OUL.
There are. We've really grown. We've been there almost 60 years now, and 10 years ago we opened the Pickerington Center, and we have 14 associate's degrees or 2-year programs that you can get on campus, and 9 bachelor's degrees that you can do all 4 years on the Lancaster campus. And I find that that's what a lot of people don't know about us. When I go out into the community, they think it's the place that you start your OU degree. You go there a year or two, you transfer to Athens, and they don't want to have to do that. There are 9 degrees that you can get completely without ever leaving our campus.
Wow, that's neat.
It really is neat, and I mean they're broad enough degrees that you can do a lot of things with them. Communications is one of our 4-year degrees. We have a Bachelor's of Science in Applied Management, which is a business degree. So we have a lot of different options that people can really go into, and they can start in that 2-year program to figure out what it is they might want to do. And if they do want to transfer to Athens, there are 250 degrees you can get at the Athens campus. So there's all kinds of options.
And there are 4 master's degrees at Pickerington.
Right.
And I think one thing that people sometimes lose track of, the Pickerington Center is actually a subdivision of OUL.
Right. It is a center that is associated with our campus, and so you can go just there. You can go just to Lancaster. You can go to both places in the same day. You could take a class at Pickerington in the morning, work at Pickerington late in the morning, drive to Lancaster, take a class in Lancaster at night, and it will all count towards that same degree. So we work together really well to get that done.
And the average class size is, it's very, 15, 20 people.
I teach journalism classes, and my max class size is 25. So, but there are a lot of them that are smaller than that. There are very few that are larger than that. But we do have a few of, your 40, 50, people classes. But, Athens or other, Ohio State, you go and there are 200, 300, 400 people in a class. That's not what this is at all. So it's a really nice way to get to know your professors, and I think that that's what makes us unique, is that our professors take make a vested interest in the success of students, and so that's a really good thing.
And as with any colleges, there's rivalries that are being built.
Oh yeah, we have athletics.
OU Lancaster and OU Zanesville, they go back and forth all the time, and actually both the men's and women's basketball teams, they have a first rivalry night.
Our first rivalry night.
We won them both.
Yeah, we did. OUL did win. Our students, we have many student organizations on campus, and that's another thing that I think a lot of people don't know about OUL, is that there's a campus life aspect there for traditional and non-traditional students. And one of our student organizations, Alpha Phi Omega, is a service organization, and they decided that it would be fun to have a rivalry night and try to build up the recognition of our athletic programs here. And so the coach of OU Zanesville teaches class at OU Lancaster sometimes, and so they thought that's our natural rival. Someone where the students know the coach, and there's definitely a little a little friendly, jarring going on.
Yeah.
And so our first rivalry night was on a Tuesday night, and we had OU Zanesville in, and not only did we beat them, we really beat them, and so it was nice.
You don't want to rub it in or anything, but
no,
we really beat them.
We really beat them, and so it was a really nice event, and so we had a couple hundred people turn out, and it was really exciting.
Well, that is neat.
It is neat.
And there are, with the kids going there, I think sometimes they take pride in that. We did beat, we beat them. That's and the teachers like it. I'm sure you guys don't email back and forth and say, "Oh, we beat you last night. Too bad."
Right. Oh yeah. You have to have fun with stuff like that. Now who knows? The next time we play, they could beat us. But right now, I'm just going to go with this. Yeah, exactly.
That's it. One of the sad things that's happened recently at OU was the historic covered bridge that, for some reason, someone wanted to burn down.
Yeah, it is really sad. A couple weeks ago, at like 6 a.m, a passerby on the bike path saw that there were some flames coming up underneath the covered bridge, which is on the National Register of Historic Places. It was built in 1881, and it has a couple of sizable holes now in the bridge. And so we're working with some restoration companies who are going to try to restore it. To using the wood that was used to build it originally, to try to keep that historic integrity there. But the estimate is it's somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 worth of damage that was done.
Oh,
and so it's going to take a little time. The question I keep getting from people is, will it be done by the time for the Lancaster Festival? and we certainly hope so. But with something that was built more than 100 years ago, it's a delicate process to restore that. So we're going to do everything we can to honor the historic integrity of that bridge and repair it the right way. So. And
it's closed to the public right now.
Yeah, it's closed to the public.
Until they figure out exactly what they're going to do. And,
yeah.
It's just, it's too bad because Ohio has a lot of covered bridges.
Yeah.
And, it's part of Ohio history, but, you talk. Some of the engineers talk about the way it was built, this particular bridge, and it's pretty fascinating. Some of the things that they had to do to build that bridge.
Yeah, and what I find fascinating is it wasn't constructed at OUL. It was over the Poplar Creek in Carroll, I think, before they moved it to OUL, which was almost 25 years ago that they moved it to OUL. So it's getting it to OUL was this unbelievable process, and one of our physical plant director, Mark Bateson, was one of the people who helped do that, and I think he took the fact that someone tried to set that bridge on fire pretty personally. It was something that he really worked on, and you could tell it really got to him that somebody tried to do that.
It's David Fay who is involved, and I have not talked to David about it, but I could just see him just absolutely sitting down wondering why somebody would do that.
Yeah, you don't know. The motive, I'm sure we'll never really understand, but sometimes people just do things before they think about it, and we're lucky that someone walked by and called the fire department when they did, because old wood like that could have really gone up fast. So we're fortunate that it's still there.
even though we're in the middle of winter and it's snowing outside, and
Yeah.
we have to think about down the road and splice into summer.
Yes,
There's gonna be
yeah,
summer
that's-
sessions.
Summer sessions. Because we switched to semesters this year, we started school a little bit earlier. We took a little bit shorter of a winter break than OU is used to, and that also means that our summer starts, right at the beginning of May, and so we're starting to send out postcards to students to say, hey, you could take 1 or 2 classes over the summer and try to knock some of that time off that you'll be in school. And so we have 2 summer sessions. One starts May 13th and runs through June 29th. The other one is July 1st through August 17th. So you can take classes 1 or both of those sessions. They're both 6 weeks long, so they're a little bit shorter than the regular semester. So you'll be cramming a lot more into that time, but it's a chance to really knock some classes off and get them done. So it's a good opportunity for students.
I know that when we were talking before the show, JT was talking about all the time he spent in summer school. I know that
You were being so mean to him.
he's looking forward to that. I know he is. If anybody wants any information, just go to the OU website. What should they do?
ohio.edu/Lancaster. You can find out information. There'll be, here in a couple weeks, I think it's the 18th of February. Registration starts for summer classes, and there'll be a button on the front page that says, summer registration, click here. And so you can find out all about that. And it's pretty, that one of the things that, another one of the fascinating things that I've found since I've taken this job that people don't know about OU Lancaster is how much cheaper it is than going to a residential campus. I mean, you can basically get your education for 75% of the cost, and it's still the same OU degree.
Right.
Comparing it to the Athens campus, our tuition is just under $5,000 a year to go to OU Lancaster. It's just over 10 grand a year for just tuition to go to the Athens campus, and then it's another 10 grand to live there. So, I said to somebody, if you knew that, and a lot of people don't, but if you knew that, why wouldn't you do at least a year or two,
Your first 2, anyway.
right,
They're basic
at a regional
requirements
campus and live at home with mom and dad, even though they drive you crazy. What's another year or two, and you save $15,000.
I'm going to remind your 2 boys when they be that age that mom wants you at home. She doesn't want you going to school. She
Mom
wants you at
thinks
home.
right now that she wants you at home, but maybe by then she won't. We'll have to talk about that when the time comes.
We've just got a few minutes left. Again, we're talking with Cheri Russo, the Communications and Marketing Manager for Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington Center. One of the tragedies that comes about in the recent weeks is violence and
schools,
school system. And there's training going on, and OUL is going to have a training also.
Well, we actually did already. We're going to have
Okay.
another one soon, but a couple weeks ago, Lancaster Police came in and met with faculty and staff. And, in light of what happened at Sandy Hook and all the other school shootings that have happened, not that we have any reason to think one will happen here, but it's better for all of us to be prepared. And so they came in and it made you think about things that you normally don't want to think about. But they gave us some good tips and good information. And so, I feel like a lot of us are way more prepared if something tragic were to ever happen.
Right.
Yeah, so it's one of those really sad realities of the world we live in right now.
Do you remember covering anything when you were a news reporter that you just, boy, this is tough?
Yeah, there were a lot of things that, I never had to cover anything like a school shooting, and I thank the Lord for that every day. But I did have to cover individual tragedies, children who would die in car accidents and, drownings and things like that. And one of the things that made me not want to be a news reporter anymore was covering that stuff, because it's really difficult. It's very hard to do. And I remember, when the Sandy Hook tragedy happened a few weeks ago, watching all those reporters going, thank goodness that I'm not there. Yeah, because I just don't know how you do that.
Well, it'd be tough to do.
It would be. It certainly would be. Yeah.
Well, Cheri, we have enjoyed chatting with us today and giving us information about Ohio University Lancaster and Pickerington Center.
Yep.
What does Cheri do in her spare time when we're not chasing 2 kids and a husband? And we don't knit. We know we don't knit.
No, I don't knit. I used to sing a lot. I haven't since I had kids. I haven't really done that anymore.
Now you yell? Is that?
Yep, exactly. Yep. Now I yell. That's
Uh-huh.
pretty much what I do all day. I'm not from here, so we don't have a lot of family around here. But I really like it here, and I do try to do a lot of things with my kids. And I think this is a really family-friendly community to be in. And so, you know, we're out doing stuff. My oldest son goes to Tarhee, and so, you know, we're involved there and involved. I go to St. Mary's Church, so we're involved there. But yeah, I really, you know, most of the time I spend trying to control my two boys, and I look forward to time when I might have free time again in life. But right now,
Let me know when that happens.
yeah, you know, my oldest plays upward basketball here
Oh,
at Fairfield Christian
great,
Church,
yeah.
and my 3-year-old's in preschool. So, you know, life is kind of busy.
Well, again, we do appreciate you taking time out to come in and talk to us.
Well,
and
thank you.
Give us an update. We'll get you back on maybe every quarter or something
Sure.
like that. Give us an update about what's happening at Ohio University Lancaster and the Pickerington Center.
There's all kinds of stuff happening there all the time, so I'd be glad to come.
We appreciate it very much.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
Movement. Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.